Good morning, everyone. I'm running just a couple of minutes behind, but that's okay. I was actually working on my podcast just before coming on here. So, you know, I started this Making Mondays Matter series just a couple of weeks ago. And usually I don't even know what I'm going to talk about until the morning of. And this morning, I woke up with this thought on my mind, and I said, this is what I'm going to talk about today. And it's about being your own biggest fan. And this came about because of a discussion that I was having with a friend of mine, and also a discussion I was having with another dear friend yesterday. And I think this is something that a lot of us have difficulties doing, is just being our greatest cheerleader, being our biggest fan, right? We can hear all the compliments from everybody else, and we I know, me for one, sometimes it was really hard to get a compliment or to hear a compliment and to accept a compliment from people, right? And I would always follow it up with some kind of a negative comeback, if you can call it that. And I realized that this is a challenge that a lot of people have. And this one particular friend, I spoke to her a little bit, and I decided I was going to talk about that this morning in the Making Mondays Matter episode. So, for everyone who's watching, be your own biggest fan. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, I want you to think about, if you've ever been on a roller coaster, think about back to the time when you were maybe 5, 6 years old, not quite tall enough to go on those really big roller coasters. So you get up to the line, and they have that thing where they measure you just to make sure that you're tall enough. And you find that you are just below the height that you're supposed to be to get onto that particular roller coaster. You're not tall enough, right? So you can't go on there. And then you wait for maybe another few months, and you go back and you try again. And maybe by then you're tall enough and you can go on and you can enjoy the thrill of that particular roller coaster, right? I remember the first time I even saw a roller coaster. I was living in Jamaica. We'd gone on this really fabulous field trip with my school, and we were at this carnival. And I remember seeing this other student come off of the roller coaster and start hurling. And I thought, I am not going. And I did not step on a roller coaster, I think, until I was, wow, in my teens. So it was a while. But so I never experienced a not being tall enough part. But I know a lot of people, when I go to these parks, especially with my granddaughter, she's not tall enough yet to go on all of these really, I call them scary thrill rides, right? And even when all of my kids at some point were not tall enough for those rides, right? So we hear this thing, not tall enough, or there's always this word enough, and there's usually something that follows in front of it, right? We've all had those experiences when we've been told that we were not something enough. Maybe we were not smart enough. Maybe we were not, I don't know, pretty enough. Maybe our cheekbones weren't high enough for some model gay guy. I don't know. But there's always something that can be put in front of that word enough. It's like this long list of things that can come in front of that, right? And we've allowed ourselves to kind of integrate all those not enoughness things into our bodies. And even from time we were young, we grew up with this. We're hearing a lot of, we're not enough of whatever, whatever, whatever. Okay. So our self-esteem and our self-worth, with every little thing that we hear that we're not enough of, our self-esteem and our self-worth kind of gets chiseled away a little bit every time. You just imagine an artist who's, you know, whittling away at a piece of wood, and that's those each little piece that comes off, that's kind of like our self-esteem and our self-worth just kind of getting whittled away every time we hear that we are not enough of something, right? um so it's, we depend so much on people to kind of fill us with, I like to call it like filling up our cup, right? And giving us what we need to kind of enhance our self-esteem. But the thing is, we all have everything within us that we need. And a lot of people don't realize that we are enough for everything. Whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing on this planet Earth, we are enough. Now think about this for a second. We are one, each of us is one in like 7 billion on this planet, right? I mean, we are amazing already because we are one in 7 billion. There is not another Gina out there. There's not another Rosanna out there. Hey, Rosanna, good to see you. There's not another you out there. I mean, you might find, they say that there's like 7 people who look like us. So yes, there might be 7 people that look like us. But if you do that DNA, we might look alike, but within us, we are all different. We are 1 in 7 billion. 1 in 7 billion. So we are amazing right there as it is. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you ways of um, being your own cheerleader, your biggest cheerleader, not relying on being fed by other people. Now, yes, that's good, but when it gets to a point where you have to rely on other people constantly feeding you, then no, that's not good. And I have a dear friend, and she's amazing and she's beautiful, but she just doesn't see it. And she is the biggest cheerleader for everyone else. But when you try to pay her a compliment, she finds every excuse in the book why she is not that way. So I said to her the other day, I said, listen, you are blocking your blessings every time somebody pays you a compliment, or every time you desire something, you always block it with this big but, right? Here's a blessing, and every time she says she wants something, she puts in a big blocker called but, that word B-U-T. You know, I want to have this amazing boyfriend, but I want to live in this cabin by the beach, but. And I'm telling her, why can't you just leave, just say what you want, claim what you want, and leave that but out there. Just leave it alone. And you know, she like I said, she speaks so eloquently and marvelously and gloriously about everyone except herself. And she cannot accept a compliment, right? She doesn't know how to be her own cheerleader. Everyone else is seeing all of this greatness in her, all of this beauty in her, and she just cannot see for herself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge you. And if you're like that, if you're having these challenges, I'm going to challenge you today. I'm going to give you a few steps, just like I've done in all of the previous Making Mondays Matter episodes. I'm going to give you a challenge, okay? And today I'm going to challenge you how to become your biggest fan, your biggest cheerleader. All right, so you have everything inside of you to achieve whatever goals and dreams that you want. We've talked about goals and dreams in the last 2 episodes, but until you actually believe that you are capable of it, of achieving them, until you believe that you actually deserve this, deserve the dreams, deserve to achieve the financial freedom you want, deserve to get that boyfriend that you want, deserve to live in the house by the beach that you want, deserve whatever it is that's at the end of what you want. Until you actually believe that, It's not going to happen. Everybody can believe it for you, and that does help, but you have to actually believe that yourself. All right. It does start with believing in yourself. All right. So here are 3 action steps that I want you to take, and they're pretty simple, but for if you're finding it a real challenge and being your biggest cheerleader, then it's going to be a challenge to actually do these steps. But go through it, just go through the process. And if you have to take out an entire month just to do this particular one, then do it. But the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. And this is something that I had to work on. Learn to take a compliment. Learn to take a compliment. I would have people telling me, oh my gosh, you have the most my neck. I would get compliments when I was younger, but oh, your neck is so long and elegant. And I would always immediately think of the ugly duckling, and I would come up with a reason why my neck, I would take the take the attention away from my neck and go down to my collarbone and say, yeah, but my neck only showcases my really skinny collar. At the time I was really, really, really thin, and I would get teased a lot about my collarbones being like so sunken in I couldn't collect rainwater for a drought. Okay, I would get teased a lot when I was really thin. So when people brought attention to any part of my neck, or I would be really hesitant to accept that compliment, even if it was meant with the best of intentions. They were genuinely complimenting my neck. So I would have such a hard time. So I would always come up with this but part. So I had to learn that when people were paying me a compliment, it was genuine. And that's where I want you to get as well. And everybody has a hard time taking compliments in some form or another, but I really want you to just get to that point where, learn to accept compliments and be your own biggest cheerleader. Rosanna says, Mom used to tell me that when I deny someone wanting to give me the things or compliment me, that I hurt something in them as well. That changed my attitude. And that is so true, Rosanna. That is so true, because someone is genuinely trying to pay you a compliment, and then you kind of block it, and you send a negative energy to them, and chances are they probably won't pay you a compliment after that, because we kind of, like I said, block our blessings, and a compliment is a blessing. It is a blessing, So I really had to learn to accept these compliments. And when you learn to accept compliments, it becomes easier to accept other things, because a compliment is it might be just words, it's energy, but it also leads to you being, say, maybe somebody wants to give you a financial blessing, or they want to give you a gift in some other form. It becomes a lot easier that way as well to accept those. So, but you have to learn to believing in yourself, and believing that you're worthy enough, that you deserve these blessings. And that's the point where I'm working with my friend to try to get her to that place as well. So the action steps are, and like I did in the past 2 episodes, I'm starting off with what I like to consider like a low tier, and then there's a medium tier, and then there's your high tier. Okay, on the different steps on how to become your biggest cheerleader. So on the low tier, I want you to start by getting a journal, a simple little book. And I don't have one here, but you can simply go to the Dollar Tree. They have some really pretty journals, or just little textbooks or a notebook. It doesn't matter. You can always dress up the front of it with stickers, or do some decoupage on there, make it look really nice, because this is going to be called your I Matter journal. I know we hear all about gratitude journals and this kind of journal and whatever kind of journal. This is going to be your I Matter journal. And in it, you're going to fill it up with positive statements that you believe people would say about you, or that you believe about yourself. Notice I said positive, okay? I don't want you to look at anything negative about you. Everything is going to be positive. So if you want to, there are different ways that you can do this. Maybe you get up every morning and you write 5 things in there that you love about yourself, that are positive about yourself, that you believe about yourself, or that other people believe about you. Or you can also go, as you go throughout the day and people pay you a compliment about something, or they say something about you that they like, grab your I Matter journal and just write that in there. And you do this every single day. And at the end of the night, at the end of the day, before you go to bed, read through those that you've posted for today, and that maybe you posted yesterday, and just remind yourself of just how awesome you are and how awesome other people also think you are. All right, and do that every single day in your I Matter journal. That's all this journal is going to be about. It's just positive things about yourself that people believe and that you also believe about yourself. And just pay attention to the things that people say to you throughout the day, because you really begin to hear how amazing people think you are, and after a while you're going to really believe that stuff. If you don't believe it now, you're going to believe it about yourself after a while, because there's no way that you can really listen to people's hearts and not hear their true intentions in the words that they're saying to you. Right? So really pay attention throughout the day and write down all of these things and remind yourself on a daily basis just how truly amazing you are. So that is what I call the low tier. And you're thinking, that's a low tier? Okay, it gets better. All right, so on the medium tier, I want you to find someone in your life who's having a hard time believing in themselves. Right? And you can probably think of someone like right now. All right, so find someone in your life who is having a hard time believing in themselves. And I want you to choose to be their biggest fan. But I don't want you to tell them that you have chosen, you've elected to be their biggest fan. You're just simply going to show them, and you're going to show them how much they have to offer just by the things that you do for them, by reinforcing how much you appreciate them, how much maybe they're doing something special for you. Just let them know just how much you appreciate them, what they're doing for you, and just how much the world really needs to have them in it. This one particular person that I'm referring to has admitted to thinking about death on a daily basis. This is just how low their self-esteem really is. They think about death on a daily basis, right? They really think that the world is not any better with them in it. And it's sometimes it's just so hard to sit down and listen. But when I know she'll get to a point where she really does believe to think that she doesn't think she's beautiful. She doesn't think anyone loves her, and she really thinks that the world would be so much better off without her here. And I know it's going to be a lot of work, and just by the mere fact that she's still here, that's a good sign, right? I'm taking that as a very good sign. But so find someone who is really just having a hard time believing that they're worth it, believing that the world needs them, believing that there's someone out there for them, believing that they deserve the love, that they deserve the whatever goals that they set for themselves, that they believe that they should be able to accomplish them, right? So find that someone and be their biggest fan. You don't have to tell them that you're doing that. Just show it just by being there for them and reinforcing just how much this world needs them and how much they mean to you as well. Now, the high level, the high tier, is I want you to create a walk of fame. This is where you have more. It's not just you, so you and maybe your family, you maybe your co-workers, you and a group of close friends, whatever particular dynamics you want to put in there. Maybe you want to use them all of those. It's entirely up to you. But what you're going to do is create a walk of fame with those particular groups. Like I said, your coworkers, your friends, family, and the funny thing, kids are really good at doing this kind of stuff. So just kind of pay attention to what they're doing whenever if you're doing it as a family, pay attention to how the kids actually do this, because they have such a pure vision, especially the really young ones. So I want you to have each person grab a sheet of paper, and on that sheet of paper, all you're going to do is write your name at the top. You can decorate it, with stickers and whatever else you want to put on there, or you can wait until the end. But on that sheet of paper, I want each person is going to write what makes them special. So you will write on your list, on your sheet of paper, everything that you think makes you special. Your coworkers or your family members or your closest friends, they're all going to write on their piece of paper with their name at the top what makes them special, right? And then at the end, if you want to take a few minutes and just have everyone decorate it, that's fine. Add stickers, paint some flowers, put some images on there, some positive words, whatever it is you want to do, you can do that if you so choose. Then you're going to take each piece of paper and you're either going to put it along a wall, kind of in a line, or you can place it on the ground and create like an actual, walk of fame. And you're going to just have everyone line up and just go down the line and just clap and applause and celebrate each person along that line. Okay, just create just one spontaneous party out of all of it. And you can choose to leave this up for a week, a day, an entire month. You can do this activity each month, or maybe as maybe you get new employees or you meet someone new, and I don't know, however you want to kind of make this your own activity, but celebrate each person. Celebrate, maybe they have certain successes that month and they put it on top of their list and they say, well, that makes me special because I did this particular thing and I was successful at it, yada, yada, yada. But create this walk of fame as a group, family, co-workers, friends, however you want to do it, okay? And post it and just celebrate one another. So you have your 3 tiers, your I Matter journal, and then you're going to find someone who you can be a biggest cheerleader for, and then your walk of fame. So those are the 3 different challenges I'm going to leave for you for today. And you can choose to do this as often as you wish, but I would like for you to do the I Matter journal on a daily basis. And please feel free to share those with me. You'll find me on all over social media. But if you're following me on anyone, just, can simply, maybe we should come up with a hashtag, do the hashtag Making Mondays Matter. And I will look for all of those posts under that hashtag and just share with me, okay? And under the video, you can also comment as well under here. Let me know how you, what you did, and if you're using the I Matter journal, I'd love to know. I'd really love to know. And if you did these, the Walk of Fame parties, with your friends, family, co-workers, whatever the case might be, I would love to know how that went as well. So I know today was a little bit heavier than usual, but like I said, when I wake up on a Monday, I don't usually know what I'm going to talk about. I try to make it as spontaneous as I possibly can. But after the last couple of days and the experience I had with this particular person, I thought this would be a good thing to talk about today. Being a new week, we can go into this new week with some new thoughts about ourselves, with some new ideas, and just make somebody feel good this week, right? All right, so I will be back, God's willing, next Monday with another episode of Making Mondays Matter. And please share with me any particular topics that you'd like for me to talk about, if you do have one. But I so appreciate all of you stopping by for a few minutes on this this Monday morning and just spending a few minutes with me. All right. So I'll see you all again real soon. And again, like I said, I really do appreciate you all being here.